beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new here. It is so lovely to see you all today. Me and Twig are so happy you joined us. So today I really wanted to make this video about devotion to Hecate for disabled witches, because a lot of the time when we see people talking about working with Hecate and how they practice with Hecate, it's all things like staying up all night, doing these intense rituals, and how I wish I could. But to be honest, as a disabled witch who really struggles with their pain, with fatigue, I have to find other ways of practicing. I have to think of ways to bring her magic into my life and to work with her rather than just having specific rituals. I want her in my life all the time, every day. So that's what we're talking about today. Grab your cup of tea. So low spoon devotion to me is all about presence. It's all about building a relationship over time, and those small meaningful moments that really connect you with a goddess that you really want to work with. It's all about research and reading and building up those little practices that are going to help me to feel that connection with her. I know that so many of us feel like we fall short, like, oh, you know, I'm in pain, I can't practice this week, or I'm really struggling this week. But I want us to reframe those thoughts and instead think about those small little moments that you can grab with that beautiful goddess that we all want to connect with. The first thing I want to talk about is poetry and daily poetry practice. And this devotion for me, it can be two things. One, it can be reading aloud. Sorry, Twig wanted to join us again. It can be two things. It can be reading aloud from poetry. Goodness. It can be reading aloud from poetry. It can be reading books. It can be writing poems, affirmations, devotional text that you write yourself or you find online that you can read out to her. My favourite thing to do, other than writing my own poetry for her, is this. This book is what drew me to working deeper with Hecate. I bought this book not really knowing what it was. This is Hecate the Witch by Nikita Gill, and it's a series of poems that take you through the story of Hecate and her life and her relationship with the people in her life through poetry and prose, and oh my goodness, it changed everything for me. And I suddenly found myself being able to see through her eyes instead of these old stories that I couldn't really connect with, that I often find myself feeling when I'm reading older texts or older books. It's all about how to work with her. This is as if you're hearing her talk about her life. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful cover. I have it on display on my Hecate altar, and I read from this just a couple of pages. It's very beautiful little prose. The book is quite heavy. I got the hardback. I don't know if you can get it in a softback at all, or if that's something that's coming in the future. I'll have a look and let you know, but I'm sure you can get it on Kindle if you struggle with this size text. It can be a little bit hard for me to read, but beautiful. And I love just having the book in my hands when I'm reading to her. But it can easily be done from Kindle or any other kind of platform that you want to read digitally. I wish the text were bigger, but such is life these days as a reader. So if you do struggle with hardback books, I mean, it's not incredibly heavy, but you do have to hold the pages open. So if you have hand and arm pain, something to bear in mind. But I love reading out from this book every day. It just helps me to see her life through her eyes instead of just old books or little tales that I pick up as I go. So yeah, I love this book. I just love it. Sometimes it can be great to just sit with a couple of lines from it, or to sit and look at the poem through her eyes, maybe do a drawing or a painting from a little excerpt from that if you are an art witch. There are many ways to branch off from a book or a poem like that. So it just depends on your personal practice. But for me, just sitting with things that could be from her or through her eyes just really inspires me so much and makes me feel really close to her. I love it. And also, links to everything I mention will be down below in the description should you wish to try any of these things out. The next thing I do is colouring. I've always loved colouring. It's a great mindful practice, and it's something that you can do at any time, anywhere. You can do it in bed, you can do it anywhere. And I found a Hecate colouring book, and I love this book. It has little facts along with drawing, and so you can colour in the drawing, read and learn as you go. I've been loving taking time on days where I'm not feeling too good, but it's not quite a bed day, and I can just put on a podcast. I love listening to YouTube videos, podcast episodes about Hecate through my headphones, get colouring, get into that flow state, and just really spend some time being creative without having to draw, without having to think too deeply about it. It's really important to share what we're learning, our own personal gnosis, our own personal thoughts and experiences, because this is an incredibly complicated goddess, and she has so many sides to her. We often see her as the three-faced statue, or like a multiple goddess of three, but she is so much more. There are hundreds of epithets dedicated to her, and the more I learn about her, the more my mind is absolutely boggled. But sitting listening, where I can just take in that information and do some colouring in, it's creative, it's relaxing, it's mindful, it's just so cozy. I love it. It keeps your hands busy, it keeps your mind calm, you can just relax. And I've also found that on like high pain days, it can really take my mind off pain that I'm struggling with. So yeah, give it a try. It's also great because you can spend some time devoted to her. You're learning without having to be reading lots of information or taking in lots of stuff. You're just listening. And also the fact that you don't have to have an altar, you don't have to have loads of tools, it's just time, creativity. It's just brilliant. I love it. The next thing I love to do is pulling an oracle card, or doing a little oracle spread, maybe just 3 cards, 1 card, 2 cards, asking a question, or just daily guidance. For me personally, I just pull 1 oracle card a day from this deck. This is the Oracle of the Hecatean Path by Ken Payne and Chris Butler, and the cards in this. And in here there are lots of different languages in the white book. There is also information, like a little blurb for each card, but you really don't need to worry about it. Like just some of these, they are just absolutely stunning and so easy to read. They go through most of the epithets and things that are associated with her, and they are so easy to just pick one out, get a little bit of direction, put it on display if you can or if you want to. I've really enjoyed this, and even if I haven't had a lot of time, or I'm really struggling with fatigue or whatever it is, I can just go in a room, light a candle. I've got an LED candle for her as well. If you struggle with candles, my candle is LED, and it's got the wax on the outside. Again, I'll leave a link if I can find the one that I've got. I like that. Pull a card. I might journal a little bit, but most of all, it's just spending a little bit of easy, gentle time with her. Because you have to remember that our goddesses, our ancestors, whoever, they know what we're dealing with. They know that we are disabled. They know that we're struggling with pain or fatigue or mental health issues. They know these things. They know our struggles. And so something that we do compared to another able-bodied witch, it might seem like, oh, I'm not really given enough time or energy, but when you think of the amount of effort it takes to do a card pull and read about that card and write a few sentences in a book and light a candle, even if it's an LED or if it's a lit candle, that takes a lot of energy. Percentage wise, we're about there with that able-bodied witch. Comparing our practice with their practice is not fair to ourselves, and it's not something that they will be doing, I don't believe. So yeah, this is more than enough for a day's practice with our beautiful goddess. I also have my own notebook. This is, I think the company is called Paper Crafts. Peter Pauper Press. This is Peter Pauper Press. But they're these books that look like ancient tomes, but then inside it's just lined paper. I love these sort of books. You can get them quite a lot. They aren't too expensive. They are a bit more than a normal notebook, but this is where I keep my notes for Hecate. It's black and gold on the outside. On the inside I have a little bit of information about her that I printed off and the sigil that I created for her. And then inside I have copied out information that I find online. It can be on Wiki, it can be in a book, it could be from something on Pinterest, it can be from a video or a podcast that I've listened to. I'll just write it in here. That way all the information is in here. I haven't got to go and try and find that excerpt from that book. I haven't got to find where the notes are. It's all just in one place. And then I've got stickers that I add to the pages just to make them look a bit nicer. Though if you are very artistic or are like an art witch that's very good with art journaling, you could implement that into this. This is a great place to write down any information. If you've got questions, like this whole double spread was because I started working with Diana and realised that Diana and Hecate actually share so much in common. Are they the same goddess? And so I was comparing and contrasting. So you can do your own like essays in here, you can write stuff out, you could even print out information, cut it out and stick it into the book, or you could have it as a folder. It's just one place where everything is. It makes life so much easier for me as somebody who's trying to learn with memory issues. To have all my notes in one place just really helps so much with learning about her. And as I gather more and more information, like I'm making notes at the moment around the Greek pantheon and Greek stories and history and things like that, as I'm learning and delving deeper in my research, it's all getting put in one place. And I don't know if this is something that you guys do, but I quite often make notes and doodles and underline in books that I read. But then how do I know which book has got which information in? This way, the stuff that really stands out to me, the stuff that really grabs me, I can just put it in one place. Yeah, it really, really works well for me. And the last thing that I tend to do is meditations. Meditations with Hecate, there are millions, literally millions online. If you look out there, if you look on YouTube, if you look on Google, if you look anywhere at all, you will find meditations for Hecate. And they vary in length. Some of them are like hours long, some of them are very short. Taking time to just sit and breathe really helps our nervous system, it helps our mental health, it helps us to connect with our goddess, which is so important. And also meditations that are longer, that you think I'm never going to have time for this. What about those days when you can just lie in bed and there's nothing else you can do? Quieting the room down, turning your lights down, lying down under the covers with that podcast or meditation playing. It just helps you to relax. It's great for high pain days, but it's also great for just receiving messages and receiving information from her. I love a meditation. Let me know if you do practice with meditation as well. I love it. You can get focused on that deep connection with the goddess without worrying about perfection or perfecting a ritual or anything like that. You can just lie there or sit there and just concentrate on your breath and just get into that meditative state. It just feels more sustainable than if, for example, you are trying to do something much bigger every day with her. If you were to do one of these things each day for 5 days of the week and 2 days resting, I think you would find that your connection with her would deepen so much, and that is incredibly important. I think too often and those of you who comment, please leave a comment. I love it when you do. But those of you who leave comments on my video explaining how you've been putting so much pressure on yourself, or you never feel enough, but then you came across my videos and you realised it's more than enough to do these small steps. I think there's so much pressure that we can put on ourselves in this age of everyone showing who they are on social media, and I'm a social media person. I'm on Instagram and all places, but it's not about what we show to other people, it's about what we're doing devotionally to be with Hecate. Like even just today, I'm wearing a necklace that I just anointed with some oil, Hecate oil, that I'll leave a link to all these things down below, but this is a Hecate oil that I work with, that a witch on Etsy makes, because I'm not well enough to make things, so it's great when witches are selling stuff that they've made, because then I can utilise that. This is enough. Putting on a necklace or a bracelet or some perfume or incense for her and taking a little bit of time, a breath, a moment, having a cup of tea quietly in the garden, whatever it is, it's enough. Your practice is enough. Our devotion might not look like everybody else's, but I can promise you that it means just as much to Hecate as some big elaborate ritual done by a coven under the full moon in some magical place that's then photographed and put all over social media. It's okay to just rest, to be consistent in those small pauses that you spend with her. It is okay. It's all about building relationship with her rather than having the perfect ritual time with her. That's how I really want us to reframe how we work with our deities, and it doesn't matter who you work with. I think these are all wonderful ideas. I'm sure there are people who are artists who make colouring pages for whatever deity, or maybe if you look around you can find a colouring book for any number of deities out there. And I just want to thank Hecate for bringing us all together today, and I hope that this gives you a little bit of pause to reframe how you see time with Hecate or with deity. And really I just want to ask lastly what you do to connect with your gods and goddesses. What do you do that I haven't mentioned? What are your things that you find work for you as low energy witchcraft with Hecate or with any deity? I would love to know. Leave me a comment. It's time we all share and help one another. Take care everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful, magical week. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to leave a cheeky like, comment, subscribe, hype it up if you can. All of these things are free and so magical because they help me to know and the YouTuberverse to know that you enjoyed the video, and it'll share it out just that little bit more. Don't forget, I do have a Patreon and a Ko-fi if this helped you at all. Take care everyone. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.